Someplace new today. We're going to airport identifier India 905, Hardin County, which is outside of Kenton, Ohio. And it's out in the middle of nowhere, but it is, at least according to Google Maps, right on the corner of a park that seems to be in its entirety an island outside or inside of a little lake. So it's only 48 miles away, less than half an hour flying time. It's a holiday, it's Memorial Day. I typically don't ask people if they want to go for plane rides and such on holidays. They're busy doing holiday stuff. So I'm flying alone today, which I don't do much of anymore. I thought I'd go someplace I hadn't been before. So for as long as the GoPro deigns to keep working, it does like to turn itself off randomly. You're welcome right along. Winds are going to favor runway 4, which is a mile-long taxi from here, so I'm not going to wait for the oil to warm up. I have plenty of power to taxi even with the oil, you know, under the little bar here where I got to stay in the green just to not damage the engine. So we're going to go ahead and go. I'll go ahead and put this down. I don't really need this today. It's not super hot out. It's 78 degrees.
Bolton ground experimental 284 Delta Golf. T-hangers ready to taxi, departing VFR northbound.
Experimental 284 Delta Golf, Bolton ground, runway 4, taxi via Bravo and Alpha. Wind column altimeter 3005.
Taxi Bravo and Alpha, runway 4 for Delta Golf.
I'm looking at you because I don't trust you. I'm not sure why they chose runway 4 as the calm air runway. It's wholly inconvenient. There's probably some FAA guidance on things like that. That is the runway that has the instrument approach. I'm not sure why that would matter, but it's the only thing that's, in my opinion, the only real difference between the two runways. Other than the lengthy taxi time, if you're unfortunate enough to have to go all the way down here. This is literally a mile-long taxi. Engines run really smooth. All right, well there's the showstoppers out of the way. And if I can find my checklist, I'll run through our checklist right quick. So, fuel 4 gallons, we've got plus 15. Passenger briefing, no passenger canopy closed and latched, yes sir. Throttle adjust friction, not so much an issue anymore with this nice new throttle. Master's on clearly, that's all engine start. I already looked at all this when we were back at the hangar. Fuel pressure is good, all that was good. So starting engine's all done. So before takeoff, brakes hold, flight controls check. Those nearly always work. Flight instruments check and set. Really the only thing to set, because we don't have any mechanical gyros, is the altimeter, which is already done. Fuel valve is open or the engine wouldn't be running. Fuel quantity is still good. Oil temp we've got. Done to run up. Trimmed for takeoff, that's done. Flaps are set, that means up. Canopy is checked again. Fuses are in, particularly the fuel pump. That's the one I'm always most interested in. That's the one I tend to pull out now and then. Fuel pressure 2.2, and we got 5.3. Seatbelt fastened, ready to go. All right, we're ready to go. And that's it for the checklist. And we just gotta loosen my belts, get that all again. Here we go. And we're gonna swap over to tower, 128.1. Let them know we're ready to go, and we're departing VFR to the north.
Bolton Tower, experimental 284 Delta Golf, ready for takeoff, runway 4 at Alpha 6, departing VFR northbound.
Had to think about that runway for a second.
Experimental 4 Delta Golf, runway 4, clear for takeoff, northbound departure.
4 Delta Golf, clear for takeoff, runway 4, northbound departure.
That sounded about right. This is like literally the 5th time I've flown in half a year, and my radio patter is notably weak. It's not quite come back to me yet. We're off in about 500 feet. I'll go ahead and let it climb. Usually I push the nose down, but I'm going to let it climb today. So we're almost to beam the tower, and we're already at, well, let's get a beam the tower. It looks like it's going to be about 1,250 feet. No, it's going to be 1,300. 1,300 feet to beam the tower. Y'all are still working, right? Yep, okay. Wow, it's a beautiful day. Very clear. We're going to get on the autopilot almost right away here. I'll get my other camera out. We're going up 3,500. That's our standard cruising altitude. And we're going to fly on the nav. I want nav, autopilot, up. There we go. And we'll just look at it for a few seconds here and make sure it's doing everything. Don't really want to implicitly trust it. And we can do it a little less vertical speed. That's 900 foot per minute, which seems awful lot. So let's dial that down a little bit. Set down on 500. Oh, it was doing 900 on its own. I was asking for 600. Put it down on 500 and pull a little throttle off, and it'll be able to adapt to that. So there we go. That's going to be a nice cruise climb right there, if that nose ever comes down. I want 500 feet altitude. I've got that. Yeah, there it's coming down. It really just wants to climb. Oh, we're at 3,000, still climbing 3,500, still doing we got 90 knots, climbing at 500 foot per minute. Outside air temperature is now down to 68, so it's starting to feel nice and comfortable in here. There is some mild chop, but it's not horrible. Doesn't look like there's a lot of vertical development in the clouds, so we may not see, well, there's some way out west, so we may see a little bit of chop later in the day as it gets a little bit warmer. And we got to zoom pretty far out to see any kind of weather at all. A little bit down in what looks like the Carolinas. And a little bit out here, and that's, what do we got? Iowa, maybe, Missouri, one of those places. Flyover country, even for me. And there's our destination. All right, so we're leveled at 3,500. You hear the engine starting to pick up, maybe. Definitely seen the RPM come up. So we're gonna gently throttle back. And we're not in any hurry today. We typically aren't in any hurry when we fly. We got a bit of a headwind though. So there's a ground speed of 100 knots at a little more than 5,000 RPM, and that's nice. I'll go with that. Still creeping up as we're leveling off, picking up speed. We're probably in a bit of an updraft right now, so I'm not going to be able to get the RPM right where I want it. It simply won't stay there. But that's just flying. And I'm kind of in the mood to fly today. I'm going to kick off the autopilot. We'll hand fly it. Because you can do fun things. I'm back on the autopilot. Had my flying. You're still working. Okay, well, past performance indicates that you'll shut off just before I start to descend to land. So if you don't get to see the landing, that's too bad. But the GoPro, I'll just be flying along, and all of a sudden it's getting ready to approach, and it's off. I'm not sure why it does that. So we're 8 miles out, we're 8 minutes out, 16 miles out. We don't need to start descending yet, but pretty soon, probably about 10 miles, I'll start bringing it down. We can go ahead and dial it in. Let's find that traffic pattern altitude we're looking for, the info. 2029, which I'm going to call 2000, because I round for my convenience. So we'll take our, I don't want to do that, I want altitude. Altitude down to 2000. Ugh, bumpy, bumpy. And we can start slowing down. We're not going to want a whole lot of power, given that we're kind of close to the airport now, 15 miles, but we're going to be descending, so I don't want to go down to 2,000 quite yet. We'll wait another 5 miles. We're getting ready to intercept the course here. Take it about there. Yes, I'm still looking at the GoPro. I still don't trust you. 14 to go. We can step down. Why don't we do that just for fun? Let's take that altitude back up to 3,000. And just let it step us down. We'll do a 500-foot descent here. The autopilot, some work to do. Oh, it's a beautiful day. Don't want to get going too fast. I can't break the habit of tightening up the friction lock, which I had to do with the original throttle. This one doesn't creep like the old one, but I keep trying to tighten that up. Alright, here comes our 3,000 feet. And once we turn on course, I'll take us down to 2,000. Okay, now we're leveling off, so I'm going to get a little bit of that throttle back in. Can't see the airport, but it is still 11 miles away. And I don't know what it looks like. It's probably in the woods. There's a big lake next to it. Well, maybe not a big lake, but there's a lake next to it. But even that might be hidden down in those trees. And the clouds, the shadow of the clouds are interesting. They make the trees look very dark, almost like water, so that makes it hard to find the lake. Alright, should be making our turn here in just a bit. And let's go ahead and let it come on down. I'm tired of holding it up here. I feel like I'm carrying a burden here. Take it down to 25. See if we can do two things at once, Mr. Autopilot. Can we turn and descend at the same time? I can't imagine why not. You still working? Okay. Any minute now you're going to quit. Should be able to work us around the turn here. I can put my sunglasses back on if I can find them. I can't, so we'll do without them. And GoPro's still working. I can't believe it. 7 to go, so let's go on down to pattern altitude. That's 2,000. Down.
Hardin County traffic Sentinel 284 Delta Golf is 7 miles south inbound landing runway 22 Hardin County.
Pretty sure they don't care back at Bolton Tower. Alright, are we going down or aren't we? Minus 100. Okay, well we got to go down faster than that. Let's put that down here. There we go. Well, I think I'd be able to see that airport. It's only 6 miles away.
Easterly traffic to Takeoff, traveling 7 miles west, inbound full stop to Philadelphia.
Pointed right at it. Can't see it. Alright, that's too fast. We're not in any hurry now. We want to see the airport before we get to it. Still on. Okay. It'll quit soon enough. Mark my words. We're going to be right on this airport before I see it. I ought to be able to see it 5 miles away. There's a piece of water. So we are pointed right at it.
Helicopter 1102 Delta, indication 27, right traffic.
Well, we overfly it maybe. There's the water.
Clinton traffic up to 1845 Victor, 5 miles to the west. What runway is everybody using right now?
Why don't you listen and find out? Bound to be busy up there. Right? Yeah, I am.
Helicopter 1102 Delta, right downwind for 27.
I wonder if this airport is still here.
45 Victor.
Put in Bay Arch 9 and call about 40 to south there, north downwind 21. Mechanic traffic, helicopter 1102 Delta, be base for final for 27, 6.5 miles final.
Anybody see that thing? I see no airport. There it is. It is right behind the trees. How about that? Wow. Hard to find.
Helicopter 1102 Delta, be on the go 27, right traffic.
Boy, it'd be easy to go right over it, even though we're, well, no, that's a road. 2.8 miles. Where? Oh, there it is. That was a road I was looking at. There it is. I see it now.
Traffic 45 Victor, 1 mile to the west, entering downwind for 27, Parkland.
Mechanic traffic, helicopter 1102 Delta.
Hardin County traffic, 284 Delta Golf, entering the midfield left downwind, runway 22, full stop, Hardin County.
And there's the lake. It's not very big. Should be nice though. There's Kent. Kent's pretty far away. That'd be about a 5 mile walk. Probably don't want to do that. It looks like it'd be about a 3.5 mile walk. Still don't want to do it.
Ross County traffic, Aero 250 Tango is 15 miles to the south. We'll be hearing left downwind for runway 23, full stop.
All right, let's get those flaps down. 1, 2, and trim. Nice glide, there we go.
Control traffic, Diamond Star 2 Delta Sierra, we're about 3 miles north, we're behind the banner for Smithfield, runway 31, full stop.
And now we're down in the, well, it's only 71 degrees, but we're feeling the heat. Back down in the heat. There's some train cars just parked there. It's off on a siding, just sitting there, which we could go take a look at. Alright, let's get down there. Got a displaced threshold because of all those trees. It's no problem because this airplane takes very little runway.
Hardin County traffic, 4 Delta Golf, left base, runway 22, Hardin County.
This must be a campground. I looked at this on Google Earth and there were some trailers parked along the shore here of what's supposed to be a park. And I thought it was a mobile home park, you know, permanent, but it could be a campground. Oh, there's a racetrack here. That must be their county fairgrounds. Hardin County Fairgrounds. You guys don't get to see any of this, sorry. It's a nice looking airport though. Nice little lake.
Parkway 45 Victor, departing traffic, invite, no factor.
Yeah, we'll find out if that's temporary camping or people living there full time as we go over it. Or perhaps a little bit of both, you never know. Alright, you guys are going to get a look at the lake now. Those are campers. Okay, those are campsites. Interesting. What a great spot. I wish I camped. Of course, we just slide at things. Okay, that was a swing set. I saw that weird thing on Google Maps. Couldn't figure out what it was. Little swing set slide kind of thing. Okay, we got a little crosswind from the right. Let's get that. We can come on down now. We're going to easily make the displaced threshold. And right wing down, a little bit of left rudder to hold it straight down the runway. We may not even have to go all the way down to the turnaround spot. We'll just turn around on the runway. Alrighty. It's weird, took off on runway 4 back in Columbus, and now we're landing on 22. Whoa, whoa, what's going on here? There we go. Oh, that was a nice one. There we go. Might as well go down and turn around in the official turnaround location. GoPro says it's still on, but boy, I really don't believe it. You guys are able to stay with me this time. Alright, here's our turnaround spot. Nobody has called, but we'll make our call anyway.
Hardin County traffic 24, Delta Golf back taxi 22 to park.
And we'll stay off to the side in case I'm completely blind and some very hard to see airplane suddenly lands in front of us. We'll be off to the side. There's a guy out mowing a pasture. Really old John Deere. And I got a wave. That's nice. That's a nice little airport. And I'll try to find someplace to park. That's always the trick. Not sure on a new airport where I'm supposed to park. Oh no, where it says parking might be a good idea too. Not polite to ignore the sign. I don't know if that means transient parking. It'll be off in a corner here. Yeah, okay, we'll park over right at this guy. This makes sense. We'll just park over here. It's a nice little quiet spot. Right by this 152. Facing the wrong way. I don't know why anyone would taxi forward like that. We'll put it over here in this corner. It's a nice little corner here. Our own little private corner in the airport. There we go. Okay, so here we are. Looks like the GoPro's still working. Thanks for riding along. Glad you could make the entire trip. 47 minutes and 29 seconds is some kind of new record for that thing. So I'll turn it on the way back, and I'm gonna go take a little walk, see what's out here. Talk to you in a bit. Bye bye. And if you're looking for a lot of stagnant water that's a potential breeding ground for lots and lots of mosquitoes, this again would be your place. Although, truth be told, I've not felt a single insect around me. So maybe it's too early in the year, maybe it's the nice breeze, I don't know, but this is a really, really great find. The water is actually quite clear, so maybe it's not stagnant. There's just a lot of algae in it. But the water itself, you can see right through the bottom. It's not cloudy. And there's no smell, and there's no swarms of insects. Although, I no sooner said that a couple seconds ago and I had a fly buzz right up against my ear. So there are insects out here, but it's not nearly as bad as I had kind of assumed it would be. It's quite pleasant. Alas, the trail does end. I don't think it was even half a mile. I'm not sure if it's supposed to continue
and it's just grown over. I don't know if it gets maintained at all or if it's just people walking through here that keeps it clear, but it is ended and I'm going to turn around and head back.